So thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. I will start the. So thank you all. Thank you for joining. I'll start the recording for YouTube. So it's a day 2 for CyberArk session, and which I have already covered a little bit introduction about what is CyberArk and what are the components and a little bit background. But I'll just rephrase it again what we covered in our last session and what are the main components of CyberArk, and then we can move forward. Okay, I'll share my screen. It's visible, right? Okay, so as I mentioned in my first session, CyberArk is the tool which handles the privileged accounts, and it saves the account information, confidential information, and also rotate the passwords, and it helps you to monitor the activity during your organizations, uh, whenever somebody is trying to do any change or log into the Windows account. Or so just for background, to make the you know deliverables bit clear and day wise, I have prepared this PPT, so I'll go according to this. So I'll talk about there are type of accounts: non-privileged accounts and privileged accounts, which I covered in my last session as well. So privileged accounts, any account which has the permission to delete or to modify anything into the environment, and the non-privileged account, which is the standard account which you generally use to log in. Then we have confidential CIA diagnostic matrix, which means confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So protecting information data from unauthorized access comes under confidentiality. Then we have integrity, ensure the data is accurate and unchanged. So, and the data is available whenever it's required for the end users. Whoever has access comes under availability. And in confidentially, it isn't divided into two parts: standard rule, which is if account and compromised 2 out of 3, then privileged accounts. And restrict rule means if it's an organization compromise just for one pillar, privileged accounts can be uh, secured by CyberArk. So the read-only exceptions, like read-only access is or never privileged, but it's a myth. Read-only access is also the privileged account, which can be uh, hacked. The read-only access to highly sensitive data, and it can access the confidential information. For example, a medical portal exposing the patient's details, name, their bank account information, or their critical information to the public. So that is also comes under confidential information. Then we have the infrastructure context, the authentication triad, the domain. The domain, as uh, you are aware that any organization which has a single, like domains are two type, which I covered in my last, my Active Directory beginning sessions as well. Like in domain xyz.com or a company name. Then we have Active Directory, which is the repository of every object in the organization. Then we have domain controller. The domain controller verify the login methods to to the domain or to any application using Active Directory username and normal standard passwords, even the credentials, even the privileged accounts. Then we have CyberArk ecosystem overview. So in CyberArk, we have components. that is called the first and the main component is EPV. EPV is Enterprise Privileged Vault. So that is main component. It's the heart of CyberArk. Then we have DR Vault. DR Vault is exactly the replica of your vault. And then we have PVWA. PVWA stand for password. Sorry, it's a web access of your vault system. And then we have CPM. Then CPM is also one of the components which connects, connected to the EPM, the vault only. The detail we will be going further, upcoming slides and the sessions. Then we have the CyberArk. This is completely vault architecture. Vault architecture. So the first layer, the internal storage, it stores the account passwords and the business details using the SQL queries into the database. So these are the accounts, username, and passwords which is saved into the database. Somebody joined, so let me accept them. Have you accepted or it's still on the line? I didn't get. Okay. Then we have second layer called strong decryption mechanism using the topology and the mechanism which CyberArk use, like Defender, L2N, their own method of encryptions they use CyberArk. Then we have layer 3. This is the layer 3 layer, which restricts the network security filter, demands that port 1858. So CyberArk, all the components works on port 1858. For example, in Exchange, we have a DAG which works on 3658 and port 25 for sending outbound emails, and port so we have port defined for going out or incoming any message or the connections. So that's how the CyberArk always works on port 1858. Then we have the last, which is audit trail. The audit trail continuously logs the I can see the what exactly CyberArk admin is doing and what exactly overall activity is being done. This layer even cannot be break by CyberArk admin. It always uses super admin account password.
Did you share the screen? I'm not able to view your screen.
Yeah, I've shared the screen. It's not visible.
I don't know for me. Yes, I'm able to view now.
So for others, it was visible, guys. Ravi, Aziz.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So these are the four layer on which CyberArk works, as in securing that the environment. Then we have high availability of CyberArk. So as we have DAG into our Exchange, similarly we have DR into CyberArk. So DR Vault means it's exactly the same replica of your primary vault. The primary vault configurations, the settings, and live request and storing the master credentials and the data, whatever the um, primary vault active, we also have in DR Vault. And monthly basis, we always have practice of making DR Vault as a primary. And yes, Aziz, you want to say something? You raised
Yeah,
your.
sorry to interrupt here. I'm not good with this, and you have expertise on this. Do you mind if I ask questions?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So my first question is this is this CyberArk is about security. a feature, right? It's
It comes
provided by
under
third
cyber
party other
security.
than.
It comes under cyber security. It is a third party tool, not like Microsoft, but it is a most used and highly recommended for security parameter. So
Okay.
it is used mostly in banks or into hospitals or on the client which can afford them, because the licensing of CyberArk is very high. Even
Okay.
for end user, it's cost license.
Okay. So considering that we have cloud environment, we have on-premise environment, where you have Active Directory, we have Azure. So I'm just asking you, where we attach this system, cyber security, where we
Okay,
associate this one with the environment? How?
I'll show you. I'll show you. So let's suppose you have a company, okay,
Okay. Yes.
and this is your on-premise, okay.
Perfect. Yes.
This is your cloud environment,
Perfect.
and this is your Active Directory, and
Understood.
these are your n number of applications wherever they
Perfect.
exist. It can be
Perfect.
outside, it can be inside, and to access all these, you are always required to authenticate from AD or from
Okay.
your Azure AD or from
Okay.
anywhere. Okay, you get
Okay.
authenticate, you get access. So that's a normal
Okay.
process. But
Okay.
when it comes to CyberArk, CyberArk is always a separate technology which is being
Okay.
installed within your organization, as in
Okay.
it's a individual component which is not accessible even by the Active Directory enterprise administrator.
Okay.
Not even enterprise account can
Admin.
have access. Yeah.
Okay.
So how does it communicate with AD? So in
Okay.
AD, we have to, when we install CyberArk, we have to
Okay.
make a host entry into our Active Directory, and we have to
Okay.
provide the port number
An IP address.
1858 and the IP address of your vault server. So the vault
Understood.
will be communicating to Active Directory, and
Understood.
Active Directory will be authenticating the end users. So how the
Understood.
user get created? As soon as you have created user into your Active Directory, you have to add them into the dedicated group. The groups are based on the access type, and the groups are based on
Okay.
the application requirement. Okay,
Okay.
so these groups are exist in cyber in your on-premise AD
Accurately.
and Active Directory. And similarly, if you have Azure AD, if your workflow is like user will go to on-premise AD first, then it will go to Azure AD, then it will go to application, no matter what. But all these authentication flow is different, and CyberArk is
Okay.
completely different. CyberArk is an
Okay.
independent technology which
Okay.
is integrated with any of your applications, but it only take care of the criticality, like confidential informations, your passwords, and I'll come through when it comes to in little deeper. In one session,
Understood.
I cannot, if I try to explain you the monitoring system, everything, it will become hodgepodge for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just
Understood.
to
That's
answer
what.
your question, this is how it is,
So this is used for
designed.
app registration, right? I mean, the
No, 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 no,
application
no.
that are
It is
used.
not for even application registration. Application registration will be still done on your Azure AD.
Okay.
So do not get confused between Azure AD or CyberArk. CyberArk is a completely different technology. On your YouTube world, you will not find any course related to CyberArk. Only
Yeah,
paid
I
course
did the
people.
search, so I didn't find anything.
Yeah. So you will not
True. True.
find anything on YouTube, and the reason being because there are institutes that charge you 30,000, 50,000 just to train you on CyberArk. So that's how uh, people don't want to, in or show their spending what they have learned from, right? So you will not find any YouTube channel or anywhere where you can completely CyberArk free trainings. That's how the people are not more trained on this. And the also one of the reason is the CyberArk certification are very very costly compared to Azure AD and M365. So it requires 4 to 5 type of certifications to be certified on CyberArk. But none of the company says that you have to be certified CyberArk engineer to work in CyberArk. Okay,
Yes, thanks.
understood?
Yes, it was pretty clear.
Thank you. So then we have, hi Swati, I see you joining first time. Are you also from Office 365 background or help desk? If you don't mind answering, please.
Yeah, I'm working as a help desk also.
Okay. So you're aware about the basics of Active Directory and all, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Could you please share the documents in group?
I have created one folder. I have given the access. It's open. So I'll share once again.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Also, I shared all these screenshot on my LinkedIn profile. So I'll share my LinkedIn profile. Hope you are connected on LinkedIn. I have shared all this on my LinkedIn as well. So for today's class, I already have pasted all these screenshots which I prepared. So you can download it from there as well. I don't know why it's not showing. I'll try again. Okay, you can see these all these I have posted today's post. CyberArk architecture and all this. You can download it from there, and also I'll post into our group.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's go back to the topic. Yeah, where I was, guys. Yeah, after
You're talking
layers.
about the layer.
Yeah, DR.
Yes, layers.
Yeah, DR was completed. Then we have interface versus automated engines. So PVWA is one of the password vault web access where end user go to the portal, log in there with their ID and password, with the normal ID and password, and see the search the account for which they are going to log in, or they can search the server, or they can search the service account They can copy the password from there and they can log in to the dedicated application or the target machine where they want to, or they can directly connect to the machine without typing password. You will be able to log in to that to that server which is onboarded to CyberArk. So PVWA is also accessible to the admins, and their options will be different for admins, and there will be different options for end users. So it is available, but this PVWA is also the cloud version interface of your CyberArk main component. Okay. Then we have CPM Center Policy Manager. CPM is a type of account which automate the password manager. So let's suppose you have onboarded 10 service accounts into your CyberArk, and if Swati login or Aziz login and he has copied the password, so he can save this password somewhere, right? So CPM will automatically change that password after some time. So whenever next time somebody else will try to log in, or even Aziz try to log in, the password will be automatically changed for security reasons. So no password can be stored or can be reused. It only
Same thing happen in Delaney secret server.
correct,
So is
correct.
it similar?
Yes, it is similar. That is also one of the competitor
Yes.
of CyberArk.
Yes, it is PAM tool. Yes.
Yeah. Then we have isolation PSM proxy flow. So how the PSM proxy flow works? First, the user request. So user authenticate to CyberArk, request access to the specific database or Windows or Linux server wherever he is trying to log in. It's a target machine, right? Then PSM proxy. It's a kind of shield which is PSM retrieves the credentials from the vault. It automates the login to the process without exporting the password to the user. So PSM gets the password from the vault, and without showing it to the user, it authenticate that password to the target machine and let you log in. Okay. PSM retrieve the credential from the vault, and it automate login to the process without exposing the password to the user. User will not be able to see that password, but it will retrieve the password from the vault and it will let you log into the target machine. And let's suppose this user wanted to log into this database. So the connection is established. PSM actively capture a continuous screen video recording of the entire session for security audits. PSM also record the activity. Let's suppose Bharat is an database admin, or Aziz is going to do something on AD Connect server. So he's a global admin. He is going to log into AD Connect server. Any applications or any team or any admin, whichever team he belongs to, it can be from Unix team, it can be from AD team, which can be from database team, which can be from mainframe team, any team which is going to perform any task on the confidential or critical servers, and that connection comes from CyberArk. This will be everything video recorded. So these video recorded automatically be saved to the vault, and in future, let's suppose Aziz is trying to install the patch and Aziz has a bad intention and he is working from home. So he came to know that his friend knows hacking. If I can give him some information to my friend, then he can, get these informations publicly visible, right? So what Aziz will log in there, Aziz will open some service account, Aziz will, reset the password or try to see the some confidential informations on the database, or depends if person has a bad intention. It's not Aziz, it's whoever has a bad intention. Or he can show this information while working from home to his colleague or to somebody who is into hacking. So that is something company does not want to trust on anyone. That's how the zero trust was introduced, right? So this is how when Aziz login or somebody login to any server, everything will be recorded. What he has done after login, what he is going to do, everything will be recorded to the through the PSM, and that recording will be saved to CyberArk Vault server. Understood, guys? Okay. Then we have advanced capabilities, scripts and Linux targets. So secret manager is also one of the component which store the password. Let's suppose CyberArk this key and password. So it encrypt the password in a in a way that it encrypts the password, and it can be only decrypted by the target account which is going to log into the Linux machine. Okay, so PSM, SSH for Linux machines, and PSM connections for Windows machines. So if you want to connect to Linux machine, then you're going to have SSH connection. SSH and PSM, HELO, EHLO, these are the type of handshake to connect to any technology. For example, Microsoft Exchange server works on HELO platform. Cisco works on HELO platform. HELO means hello. So it's not actually HELLO. It's a way of communicating handshake from one host to another host. Same way cloud works, Office 365 works on EHLO platform. That was also interview question being asked into Microsoft interview for me. So they ask what is the difference between HELO and EHLO during mail flow question. So HELO is a cloud version of having the connections, communications from any application, and HELO is the on-premise version. Same way, if you want to connect to any Linux servers, then it's SSH connections. If you want to connect to with Windows servers, then it's a PSM connection. So that is also handshake technology to connect for any servers. Okay. Then we have privileged threat analysis trigger to action flow. So this is a PTA monitoring. It's AI based monitoring and alerting component. That is also one of the component of CyberArk. It is continue monitor, and not only monitor. If it detects something irregular, then it generate the alert and send it to the admins. For example, if Aziz is trying to log in out of his shift, then it will generate the alert and fire alerts directly to the management. If it's trying to suspicious password change attempts, let's suppose Aziz has already taken the password and tried to log in, and later on he tried to change the password and copy the password multiple times, then it will generate the alert. It will find out it's something suspicious that Aziz is doing. Then unmanaged privileged accounts detected. Then it also detect the privileged account which is unmanaged by CyberArk, or something happening to those privileged accounts into CyberArk. So that also detect the suspicious activity and generate the alert. Then we have the secure blueprint of complete CyberArk. It will show here. This was the first question I think Aziz asked, right?
Yes.
So let's suppose this is user and this is domain controller, this is Active Directory. So they log in using their AD account. The authentication happens to the domain controller. They go to PVWA. It's a private vault web access. Then the first step is authentications. User log into the network identity, verify the domain controller and Active Directory. Second, interface. User access the PVWA web portal of the company, of the CyberArk. Then it goes to step 3. Under step 3 we have EPM, EPV, that is a main CyberArk. Then we have DR Vault, In case this is not available, then DR vault will be coming up. They sync together. And then we have CPM. It's a core, component of CyberArk, a large contractual vault block labeled EPM, monitoring and secondary DR vault, which mechanical CPM gears the attached below it. So it's a kind of mechanism, because what is the PVWA job? PVWA is also going to get the information from your vault and let you log into the target machine. Similarly, we have PTA into picture. That is comes one of the another component which continuously monitoring what is happening. Then we have PSM. That is also one of the component. It also recording the sessions, what is happening after you log in, what you're doing with that account, what you're doing in the server, what you're doing with your credentials. So it continuously record your sessions. Then this user able to log into the target machine, and that's it. So that is the complete flow of CyberArk. Understood? Yes, no, maybe. So Vault is a main component which always, the heart of CyberArk, and it is connected to all other components. It store the passwords, it manage the passwords, it store the credentials and confidential informations. Okay. Then we have the interview mostly asked that what database CyberArk used to store the information. It always use SQL database to store the informations. And CyberArk is always, have their inbuilt firewalls. So CyberArk does not work with the Windows firewall. When you install CyberArk, your Windows firewall should be disabled. CyberArk, they have own mechanism to filter their security parameters, and it always works with port number 1858. Then I discussed about the DR vault. DR vault is exactly the replica of your primary vault. We can call it a backup vault also, we can call it a standby vault as well. It's exactly same replica of your primary vault. Then we have PVWA, that is also web access of your private vault, CyberArk vault server. It stored the account, it let you connect to the target machine, you can download the report and all. Then we have a CPM. CPM is one of the credential manager. It manages the policies, it rotates the password automatically. And then we have PSM. PSM always record the sessions and store the recorded sessions. And this is how all the components of CyberArk. And PTA is also, as I mentioned, that it always record the, always monitor that who is doing what. Apart from recording, it generates the alerts as well whenever any suspicious activity happens. Okay. Are we still left with the time? We can go ahead, or we can discontinue. What is the time left? Yeah, we still
15
have,
more minutes.
yeah, we have 25 more minutes. Okay, then I'll go with the second slide, which I prepared for today only, which I couldn't cover yesterday. Yeah. So, like I mentioned, that this is our vault server. It has connection with the CPM, then it has connection with the PSM, then it has connection with the PVWA, then it has IAM, HTTP gateway, DR site, and component server, target machines, target system, and primary sites. So this is how the CyberArk architecture looks like. Okay.
Yes.
Then we have balancing budget distribution and tolerance. So deploying CyberArk require some technical specifications like prerequisite. So the architecture modules requires, like, the complete implementations project can take up to 3 to 6 months, because it's you need to understand the readiness, you need to understand the storage sizing, you need to understand the architecture of the company, the type of accounts they have, right? Okay, then we have this. We already covered what is the privileged access management into our last session, standalone architectures, so industry standard and DR vault. So standalone architecture means you have on-premise, completely on-premise standalone. You don't have anything in cloud, and you also have a DR vault for failure. And some companies, they also have cloud version, similarly like Azure AD and on-premise AD. So CyberArk also provide the cloud version of services. So there the price is a little higher, but the dependency is more onto CyberArk, and the logs, and the lesser. It's same like Exchange Online and Exchange on-premise versions. So they have support, and they have very less chance of uh, these sessions and issues. So this is how the clustering DR vault work. A primary vault also have a vault B. Then how the clustering size. Okay, I'll go through what exactly is coverable. Distributed vault. So distributed vault, like you have master vault, and you have site A, site B, site C, site D. So you have to divide the load as a load balancer in the picture. So you can, your one CyberArk server will not be on impacted if anything load happens, or the number of issues or number of requests come at the same time. So CyberArk also have a cloud version, which is a Core Vault and PVWA, and it does not require your on-premise environment, and it also have complete on-premise dependency as well. So depending on the license type you're choosing and your organization choose, you can choose the services either from cloud, completely from CyberArk, just like Azure, or your on-premise. So they will give you setup, they will give you the setup files, you have to manage everything. Okay, then this we already covered. Architecture design matrix, standalone, disaster recovery, discovery, programs licensing, managing constant storage policy, then storage sizing. Yeah, whenever we record any session, so let's suppose you have worked almost 30 minutes on a dedicated server. So you'll say, if you're recording a video, the size will be very, very high. How come the CyberArk can save this much of data? And so CyberArk has a feature that reduce the size of the recordings, and if saves 50 to 300 KB per video for recordings. So KB means it's not even 1 MB. So that's how it's 50 to 300 KB per minute. And let's suppose if you work for 30 minutes, then at per minute you can multiply by 300, or depending on what exactly you're doing. And so it does not contain that much of space like our normal video recordings. Like if I record this session, if I'm going to upload this, it may be 500 MB, or maybe 1000 MB, depending on my resolution which I record. So 100 connections, let's suppose you have 100 accounts which is going to record on daily basis. 60 minute on daily basis into 300, then you can keep it for 118 days, 80 days, like 6 months. Then your total space is going to be required only 100 GB as a overall, you know, uh, overview of, just like, if you have 100 accounts and daily basis you're recording 60 minutes of each account, then you need approx 100 GB of storage. So 3 to 6 months implementation roadmap it takes, pilot sign off, okay, and final deliverables for the project. So it shows you that how do you analyze the projects and the requirement, and how you want to deliver an analysis based on the customer requirement and all. So any other question do you have, guys? I'm just done with for today's session related to CyberArk. Okay, then that's all for today. I'll just upload the video. Thank you for your time and have a great day.
Thank you.